Welcome. You're listening to John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. This is one of the many training videos that we put out for commercial real estate brokers and agents around the world, certainly to help them with sales, leasing and property management activity. And given that the property market is so different from country to country and town or city town or city in various locations, there are many things to consider. So the videos are out there and certainly you can access them through our YouTube account. That being said, if you need more information, you can get that from our website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. So now let's have a look at this particular topic, which relates to the internet for agents today and the things that can be done as part of that. I'll start with the topic of the amount of time, the rules that should apply to internet access today. It should be said that the internet can take a huge amount of your time and therefore you should minimize the time applied to social media. When you look at your social media activity, it should only take you 10 minutes per day. And as part of that, the social media channels you use should be perhaps Facebook. Google Plus should certainly be done by all agents and brokers. Google Plus is highly integrated into Blogger and also Google itself, and that will help your search engine ranking. So get a Google Plus account if you haven't already got one. LinkedIn, of course, has been around for a very long time. It is questionable as to what LinkedIn will bring you. Some people may put their clients or customers into LinkedIn as part of a community. You can also do that on Facebook. So consistency is the key. If you're going to use Facebook and you're going to use LinkedIn, well then you should provide consistency to the process. And what you can do there, of course, is have a blogging process underway and link those blogs back to LinkedIn and also Facebook. I would, however, go back to the main point here that Google Plus is actually more important, in my view, to that of Facebook and LinkedIn. Google Plus will give you better search engine profile from blogs that you put out there, from activities that you create on the internet. So start a Google Plus account if you haven't already done so. Now, Twitter sits over here on its own. Twitter is always very useful. You can get plenty of posts out and information out into the world which is relevant to your particular type of market, your location, the clients that you serve, the tenants, the buyers and the sellers of commercial property today. So there you have a bit of a matrix for you. I haven't mentioned Pinterest. Pinterest is something that may be useful if you're into images and photography, which may relate to commercial property. And of course that is useful if that's what you're going to do. But let's look at the main ones again. Facebook, yes, create a business profile. LinkedIn, yes, because everyone does it. Google Plus is absolutely essential. And Twitter can link everything together for you and put your posts and activities out there into the internet, the World Wide Web. So let's go back here a little bit further, right back to 10 minutes a day. As I said, you've got to keep it simple. So you can automate a lot of things. If you put posts up, the posts can be posted automatically to LinkedIn and Facebook, and also Google Plus if you choose to do it that way. So research the way to do it. It's quite easy. Let's go back to the rules here. Always add valuable content and comment to the posts that you put out relative to your market share. Talk about market trends, the things that are going on in your market today. Make your posts interesting. Make the interactions that you create on Facebook and LinkedIn something of use to the people that you serve. Of course, you can get property investment information and add to your posts. People are always interested in looking at numbers and charts and graphs and images, so there are many things that you can do to add valuable content and comment to the posts that you put up. When you look at your town or city, there'll certainly be updates and changes to the property market from time to time, so why not consider monitoring those updates and merge them into your posts, to your blogs and also to your website and also your newsletter. It's all very useful. So property tips, what can you talk about? You can talk about many things in property tips: sales, leasing, property management activity. Be valuable in what you say. Don't be controversial, because remember, anything negative said will get out there into the world and it's very hard to remove. So many people have been caught by Twitter comments and perhaps some blog posts that are not necessarily wise in the moment and perhaps were done with not much thought. So keep your posts and your professional image quite clean when it comes to the internet today. So let's go back here a bit further and go back to the rules again. Be personable. In other words, get some private information out there to people that they can use with their property investment activity. Tell them about how the market changes relative to property investments, to sales, leasing, to prices, to rentals. Talk about the changes to transport corridors in the local area. Lots of things you can do there. And of course, provide your contact information back to you if they want to talk to you further about it. You can always tell stories about your market. There are always plenty of things happening in the local area, the town or the city. Stories are always interesting, and indeed that will help your readership of your newsletter, your social media or your blogs. And of course I go back to the point that your blogs can link everywhere, and indeed your social media can link back to your blogs. It's a matter of creating a matrix. And of course I go back to the other point that your activity online needs to be professional and relative to the area. Make it something useful that people can use. So the rules. Be regular in what you do. That should mean blogging 3 times a week. And you should be spending every day at least 10 minutes online to get something out there. Let's go back a bit further here and look at building your reputation. Why are you the expert in the local area? You should have a reputation. You shouldn't just be a property agent or a real estate broker. You should be someone special. You should focus on a property type, a location. You should have a lot of information that people require. In other words, you become the go-to person when it comes to commercial real estate activities locally, and perhaps industrial, office or retail. Depends what you want to be known for, but certainly create a brand. Build a reputation around that brand. Let's go back a bit further here. Let's look at connecting with people. Now, the segments of people to connect with in commercial real estate are many. Accountants and also solicitors have client databases of people that invest in commercial property. So get to know some solicitors and get to know some accountants in your local town or city. Share with them property updates and information that they can relate back to their clients. Over time, you will crack 1 or 2 of these valuable professional people and get them to be your clients, and indeed they will feed their clients to you. So business owners are always useful when it comes to movement around the area. They may own the property they're in, or they could perhaps be a tenant. And so they'll need to relocate from time to time. So business owners are always very useful to know. Franchise groups, well, they are a business model today that's highly successful. That being said, you should integrate your property activities into the franchise groups locally and regionally. There may be some franchise groups that need to get into your town or city. Find out what the franchise groups are looking for by way of property needs, and then look for those properties. They will always have, of course, a special standard lease and a standard lease agreement that will need to integrate into the property that they choose. That's because their franchise agreement with the people that buy the franchises from them will need to match the franchise agreement and the lease. They all need to integrate well together. Owner-occupiers, these are the people who run businesses and they occupy the property that they're in. You'll get to know them through understanding the business owners locally. Of course, previous clients that have done business with you will always be primed up for future business opportunity, property acquisition, maybe leasing activity, maybe changing their portfolio or growing it. Get to know what they require. Property developers, well, they're always out there. They come and go from the market based on the margins that are available from any future new development. You should check out the local building authority, the planning authority board, to understand the new developments that are coming up or going through. Then of course you can connect with the relative property developers to find out what they want of the local market, and indeed you can help them because you're a broker or an agent that understands the market. Property investors come and go from the market based on cash flow, opportunity, perhaps through growth of rental, growth of capital value on the property. So property investors are good to know, and the successful ones will usually own a few properties, if not 5 or 6. And that being said, you can help them with the property choice, the relocation, the change of property investment when the time comes. So that's connecting with people. Let's go back a bit further here and look at some other issues. Google yourself to see how your brand ranks on the internet. Put your name into Google and find out how you will appear in the Google rankings. Of course, to improve that, you can build a blog, and a blog will help you with your rankings online. and you can relate your blog to your brand. In other words, you are a specialist when it comes to a property type, be it sales, leasing, or property management. What do you know about the local town or city when it comes to property that people will come to you for? Feed that information into your blog. Be a specialist. Make sure the blog shows you as a specialist. I would say that it's a bit of a waste of time putting property listings on your blog, and I would discourage you from doing it. The property listings should be fed to your website and to the industry portals. Use your blog to talk about your property speciality and the things that are going on in the market relative to that. That's what will help you. So there we go. That's been some rules regards the internet activity for agents today. I won't go any further with this particular audio because there are many more things to talk about, as you can see from this extensive list. So it is good talking to you today, and there'll be other videos around this particular topic that you can use and refer to if you are a broker or an agent in commercial real estate in your town or city. And you can join our newsletter at commercial-realestate-training.com. We send out free charts and wall charts weekly and many other newsletters on different topics related to sales, leasing and property management on a regular basis, and that can help you greatly when it comes to growing your market share. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for listening today, and I'll now close now and say thank you from John Hyman from commercial-realestate-training.com.